This is the J-Hawks Sports Network, powered by Heartland Technology.
Welcome aboard on the J-Hawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. I'm Nate Clayburgh from the South Gym Upper Patio tonight. Beside me, Luke Baldwin, as we are ready for Game 2 of this doubleheader. Girls took advantage of Union in that first game, 57-20. Boys coming in tonight, going to face off against Union, who comes in with a record of 5-1 on the year, 3-0 in conference play. Jesup 3-2 overall, 2-0 in conference play. And Luke, this Jesup team coming in tonight, or coming into the season, you could probably name 1, 2, maybe 3 people you're going to see in the lineup, but they played strong, but I think they're still trying to figure out who they are.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt they're trying to figure out who they are. And I know you talked to Coach Smines at halftime, and I wasn't on that, not sure exactly what you talked about, but I talked to him on the side, and he and the coaching staff are also trying to figure out exactly what they got there, how to make them all work together. Obviously we've got some not necessarily we've got some senior leadership, but we got some young guys too, and just a different group of kids than we've had in a while. They're having their ups and downs, but hopefully here tonight they can get after from the start. They have had a tendency to start kind of slow. Hopefully they can change that tonight, get after it from the jump, and hopefully at the end of it all come away with a win.
Yeah, losing last Friday night to Gladbrook Rhinebeck on the road, and sounded like shooting just was a challenge, and maybe some free throws in there as well, as Jesup and Union set here very shortly. Let's turn it over to Dan Fox on the public address.
Peyton Sorensen, a senior number 12, Jackson Anderson, a senior number 22, Mason Mullen, and a senior number 23, Logan Rozier. The Knights are coached by Troy Lorenzen. And now for our J-Hawks, a senior.
Set for tip-off very shortly. Luke, quickly go through the starting lineups for Jesup and Union.
For the Union Knights, we've got sophomore forward Cameron Mullen, number 2. Sophomore guard, number 10, Caden Sorensen. Senior guard, 12, Jackson Anderson. Senior forward, number 22, Mason Mullen. And senior forward, number 23, Logan Rozier. For your Jesup J-Hawks, senior guard, number 0, Jack Miller. Senior guard, 4, Cale Shizzle. Junior forward, number 5, Nick Moore. Junior guard, number 10, Ryan Treptow. And junior forward, number 11, Landon Vogel.
Yeah, you got a different lineup right there, bringing in Nick Moore. We have seen Madden Sly. We've seen, I don't think who else we've seen out there this year, but that varsity bench a little light at this point of the season.
Just nine guys on the bench. Well, 9 guys total, 5 on the court, 4 on the bench. So you want to keep your guys healthy here tonight, because you don't have much of a bench to work with.
7:24 to go. Still looking for that first score as Union pulls up the shot, and Nick Moore will be the first one in the scorebook, but in the foul column for Jesup.
It's going to send Mason Mullen to the line to shoot a pair. Again, there is no longer a 1-and-1. high school basketball. Everything's 2 shots. And, of course, the team fouls. Once they total 5, then the other team shoots 2 shots on every foul after that, and those do reset at the end of each quarter.
Mason Mullen, first one on the scorebook for Union, and anybody on this floor right now. Landon Vogel gets a touch on it. Little twirl in the lane, no good, off balance. 7 minutes remain first quarter. Jesup quickly back to the other end of the floor. And Union coming in 5-1 on the year.
Fun fact, Nate, which you are already aware of this. This is my first time calling the boys this year. I was unavailable the two other times, I think. That we've had them here at home. So
not that we're counting.
No, I've watched them online.
Shizzle with a 3 off the front of the rim, no good.
A lot of up and down so far in this first few minutes. Very little scoring. Of course, the moment I say that, we do see a basket by Jackson Anderson.
Actually, this is only the second home game of the season for the Jayhawks. They've been on the road a lot. That's what Coach talked about at the halftime of our girls' game.
Well, that explains why then I don't feel so bad.
You've only missed one. That's all right. I'm going to miss one on Friday, so you get Eddie up here on Friday.
Nice shot by Treptow there. Speaking of Treptow, you had mentioned between games we've got 3 D1 players in the house tonight. I don't want to steal your thunder. You're the one that noticed this, but we've got Ryan's older sisters, Amanda and Emily Treptow, both cross-country and track athletes at Memphis.
Nope. She's at University of Omaha now, Nebraska, Omaha now, and then Amanda's at Wichita State.
Okay, I stand corrected. I was completely wrong on everything I just said there, except for the fact that they're D1 players.
Good thing I got a little fire in that, I guess.
And then we've also got Brody Kresser, who I do know this is correct. He's a baseball player at West Virginia. So I don't know if Jesup's ever been able to claim 3 D1 players at one time. Active D1 players.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Or athletes.
Hard to say. Ball goes up and away. Jack Miller cross midcourt. Just 2 points on the board for the Jayhawks right now, and Jack is looking for a no-look. Had a hard time making that happen.
I'm not
He'll go up on his own, and that one will fall in as he takes it back and redeems himself.
Jesup. It's not like Jesup has had a tremendous amount of D1 athletes. So I would say that we've never been able to boast 3 at one time.
And in the same location at once.
Yeah.
Ball comes out of bounds. Jesup doesn't have Jack Miller get it in time. 5-4, Union leading.
Maddox DeWinter comes in for the Knights. He replaces Cameron Mullen. Mullen, the second leading scorer for the Knights at 12.8. So his production will go to the bench just for a bit here.
I was going to say, just looking down there, looks like we do have some kids out with illness or injury. Madden Sly's not on that bench, nor do I see Ethan Crow. So down a couple down.
I tell you what, there is so much. Boy, come on, fellas. There is so much sickness going on right now. Not just in school, but seemingly everywhere. Especially in my head.
Well, it's good that you're hanging out with me tonight then. Under 4 minutes, Shizzle will inbound. Union back just half court defensively. Miller crosses that timeline. Vogel gets a look at it, back over to Shizzle. Jack comes straight on, 12-footer. Ooh, in, and then just comes right out.
Jack's got such a pretty jump shot. He squares up, elevates. There's really no wasted energy in that shot.
Little left foot twizzle around from the winner is going to lose that ball. Treptow finds Vogel right side on the fast break.
Probably should have got an and one in there. He took a hand to the face.
Free throw and a field goal for Vogel, the junior.
Sorensen looking for that three ball. Sorensen, the leading scorer, 19 points per game. Also the leading assist giver.
Sorensen.
Just under 6 per game.
Nice shot from Sorensen. Now the legs with Jack Miller. He was a little under the weather at Gladbrook last week, but still ended up with quite a few points. He's been averaging 24 on the year as he hits that big three.
Jack, of course, going to Upper Iowa to play basketball next year, and I honestly have no idea if he's going to do this. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays a little golf there too. Jack is a phenomenal golfer, and Upper Iowa has had some good golf teams over the years. We see Shizzle with I think that was a three.
Yeah, got a quick handle on it, threw it up, gets his first points of the night. Under 2 minutes to play. 23 in that shot clock. Treptow sticks his hands in there, pulls that out.
Mullen and Niepert into the game for the Knights. Eric Niepert, a junior forward, number 21. This is his first action of the game.
Shizzle will take it.
Shizzle.
Take that away, finds Tyler Nolan, who's in the game right now.
That's going to be a travel. Treptow just a little bit ahead of himself. I don't know, how tall is Treptow now? Any idea? Do we have that information?
6'3" is what he's listed.
Oh, I've got it right in front of me. I should look down at that from time to time.
It's a good reference, really is. Erica Bass probably spent quite a few, minutes of her day today trying to print those off. Give her some credit. I'd say Joe Smines, but we all know
that's not the case.
The effort's not there for something like that. Coaching is a different thing, but printing programs, no. It's called delegation. That's leadership.
Yep. Jayhawks playing a little more aggressively in this early going here. Good defense.
Little bounce underneath. Can't force a shot up with Niepert.
Shizzle with a nice block. Oh!
Fast break. Sorensen has to slow it down, and he converts. He's in the scorebook. Under a minute to play, first quarter.
Nice job of the ball fake by Sorensen. Lets the traffic go by. Easy layup or easy jump shot.
In the paint, Treptow pulls up. 7-footer, no good.
Got to get yourself squared up there, Ryan.
Baseline, Union gonna make that work as well.
Nice job by Anderson. Jack Miller got right up in his face, and Anderson kind of made him pay for it with a little spin move.
Deep three misses from Miller. Treptow, he responds, can't get that one to go. 20 seconds left, first quarter. Nolan, scrappy senior guard on this team, sticking with his man on defense as he's covering Cameron Mullen. 6 seconds, last shot. Put it up with, thought Mullen was going to get it. Instead goes up from Niepert.
Too easy.
Are they going to count that in?
Yeah.
14-13, Union with the lead.
Could have gotten and one on that too. He did take one on the arm as he was going up, but fortunately the ref decided to let that one go. But yeah, 14-12 Union. Good game of basketball for that first period. I think we gave them let a few easy ones go, but all in all, I was kind of pleased with the way the Jayhawks came out and played, especially relative to the way we've seen them come out a few games this year.
Yeah, when you look at, up at Denver a couple weeks ago, really rough come out of the gates, ended up coming from behind. They were down 16, 17 points, came from behind to get that. I was kind of noticing that Carter Route's on the drums, so I don't know if it was his time or not.
It's hard to maintain a train of thought when he's over there doing his thing.
Carter Route on the drums.
He can hit him. I always thought it'd be fun to have talent.
Oh, I've seen your talent in action. That's for sure. Multiple talents that you have. It just, I'm not even sure if they're for the internet.
No, that's why I keep myself off social media, except for a little Snapchat here and there.
Yeah, we got some commentary.
And that's locked down to only the people I choose. You're one of the fortunate ones, Nate.
Yeah, I can't remember what I responded to the other day. It was, you always have some thinkers. Sometimes it's, wow, I haven't thought about that. And other times it's like, wow.
Did he just say that?
Someone needs to take that guy's phone. Hit the rim, no good. Union hangs on to it. 7:12 remain first half. That one's deep doesn't go, and Treptow has it. Shizzle, Moore, Vogel, Miller, Treptow all in there. Treptow 9-footer up and doesn't want to go.
Man, Treptow's, he's getting a look. He's getting open shots in the middle of that lane, but just not getting them to drop.
There's been a ton of, I'd like to see our field goal percentage right now. And
yeah, I don't think
the attempts we've gotten
Nate.
and our makes that we've had are completely different. Moore with a deep one. Union playing a little more conservative as they'll take that inside with Rosauer. Jesup still playing catch-up. Miller pulls up, 13-foot out. He's got that one. Take him to 7 total. Man-to-man press.
Jump ball that's, I really don't know. We don't have a signal on which way that's going. That's going to stay here. Yeah, that's going to stay here with the Knights. We don't have it on the board, but we do have it down at the stand.
Union will inbound. Sorensen near side behind that hoop. A little bounce in, Moore. A little pressure defensively. Trying to find that ball, trying to see if Jesup can get back in offense. But, you know, just looking at Jesup right now, Luke, and we talked earlier, there were some points earlier in the season you could question intensity a little bit, but Jesup's, there's some fire there. We could see a little more.
Yeah, I mean, they got plenty of quickness. And, yeah, they're getting after it tonight. I saw a couple games on TV where it was not there and they were not getting after it, and the result was pretty obvious.
And had to really fight back for it.
Yeah, they're a different team this year. You see a lot of individual shot creation. I wouldn't mind seeing, more pick and rolls or maybe set plays where people are moving around to get open shots, whether it be underneath or what. But right now it seems like we're kind of limited to either that 3-ball or an individual doing something to get himself a shot. Now, I say all that. I want people to know I'm not a coach. I'm not second-guessing a coach. This is just a dude that knows a little bit about basketball, very little, thinking out loud. So
Miller on the angle, no good. Moore pulls it down, dished back out to Vogel. Treptow looked at it, Take it back to Miller. He takes a big one. Back of the rim, no good.
But you can see from that possession right there what, that's what I'm getting at. And credit to Jack Miller. He's a guy that he can easily make his own offense. But it seems like there ought to be some more opportunities for maybe easier baskets than just a long three.
Cameron Moeller hits a big three, and then Tripto follows up for his 4th point of the night. 22-16 here before half. We'll talk to girls coach Jordan Conrad at halftime of this game. That one's through the hoop.
For those of you that weren't with us for the girls game, that was, as we said during that game, a tale of two halves for sure. Close game in the first half that kind of blew wide open in the second. Chisel, long three, no good.
Bring that ball to the floor. Coming baseline, Tripto tries to watch a little bit defensively, backs off where he needs to. Again, Jayhawks down by 8. And that deep three, no good from Mullen. Gets loose, and Tripto will hold it up offensively, get things set up.
Tripto attempts to take it all the way, does get blocked, but it's going to go out of bounds off Union. So Ryan Tripto will inbound underneath his own basket.
Looking for an opening. Shizzle finds Jack. In the paint, goes up. Can't draw.
Jump ball.
They say jump possession on that.
That's going to
Jack's
stay
looking
here
for a foul, but Jesup will keep it.
Yeah.
.345 up top. Vogel. He'll get things started. A dish off to Jack Miller. Senior on the floor along with Shizzle on that far side. Jumper 6 foot out, gets it to go in.
Jack with the touch.
Down to 6. Jesup led to start things off. Union has just been consistent offensively to get the lead they're at right now.
Jayhawk student section getting into it here with a little defensive chant.
Those middle school boys that are getting after it, trying to lead some things over
there. There we go, and it paid off.
Cross midcourt, pulls up on his own, can't get the bank. Ball's loose, back to Union. Nick really trying to fight for that, trying to get a turnover forced.
I still remember Nick as a little kid. The Moores lived right behind us for several years, and he was just a little guy running around. He was always out there with his dad.
8 points now for Sorensen. Not so little anymore.
No, he's not.
As he takes a three.
Gets it.
It's like you set him up for that whole thing, Luke.
Well, it's kind of what I do.
All the players, they're all starters, have scored. And the only player we've seen come off the bench has been Tyler Nolan.
So as you said, we must have some ailments on the team. I don't know if they're injuries or
he failed to mention that on our pregame interview.
Keeping you in the dark, huh?
Yeah.
Leaving us to our own imaginations.
Yeah. I thought we were friends.
It's not a wise decision with us.
He knows everybody's watching. You know, Union coaching's watching at halftime, trying to get some insight. Takeaway by Tripto. Wait for traffic to clear here in the last 2 minutes of the first half. Shizzle comes baseline, hard at it. No look back shot, to Moore. Buddy. Moore gets it taken away.
Shizzle was right there, had a reverse layup. Nice defense by Miller.
Jesup has 2 team fouls, and Mullen with an easy shot. He's got 5 points.
$1:20 to go in this first half. Union leads 29-21. Thankfully, our video feed's still up. We haven't seen our magic man, Anthony Ba, whatever. What do we call him?
Oh, the Magic Man and his magic suitcase.
Yeah.
60 seconds.
Is that not travel? Is that not 14 steps?
Not this time around, no. We're going to see a timeout wanted by head coach Corey Lorenzen for Union as DeWinter has his 5th point, and Union up 31-23 as Coach Smines will bring him over and try and strategize what he can do with what he has right now. You know, you're missing a Madden Sly that probably would have started in place of Nick Moore.
Nick Moore given some quality minutes tonight, though. He's, what is he? He's got he had the 1 3-pointer, just 1 foul. He's been taking care of the ball, though. Jesup student section wearing gray in honor of Kate Kraft, the Union student athlete that passed away recently. That is to show awareness for glioblastoma, an aggressive form of cancer which Kate battled for the last couple years.
And this game and the girls' game before it was supposed to be played last Tuesday, but the young lady had passed on Sunday of last weekend and made the decision to postpone.
Rightfully so.
And they're playing for Kate, boys and girls this season. Vogel with a big 3 up off the rim, no good. And Shizzle trying to take that away, and we're going to see a foul, not a jump possession.
Shizzle tried to get his hands in there on that ball, but I think he had more arm than ball. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you.
Oh, you have some insight. 27 seconds on that play clock, just a fraction of a second difference between the game clock and play clock. Vogel, actually Treptow really chasing after it. Now Miller in out of traffic, gets it over to Moore, who saves it, and Union will get the last possession here in the first half.
He's got to take better care of that ball. A lot of errant passes. Deep 3, got it.
Sorensen will go to the locker room with that 3, and he's the only Unionite with double numbers at 11, as Union has really taken off here in this second quarter, 34-23, outscoring Jesup 20-11 in that second quarter.
Well, and Union finishes both quarters there with a last-second shot, and I think the difference is in this game is that Union is making their shots and Jesup just is not. So hopefully Joe can work some magic over halftime. In the meantime, I'm going to turn my headset over to girls varsity coach Jordan Conrad and let you discuss that game with him.
Sounds good. So girls coming into tonight for Jesup. Undefeated on the season overall, now 7-0, 3-0 in conference play, and bring on girls coach Jordan Conrad and talk about a tale of two halves. What did you say in the locker room that kind of maybe changed some things? Or maybe you can't say, I don't know.
No, we really just talked about committing to what we talked about before the game. Committing to what we talked about in the defensive end, our responsibilities and players' tendencies. And, you know, they have some good players that if you give them space, they're going to knock shots down and make it tough on you. And we didn't do a good enough job of staying attached to them early. And on the offensive end, really, I don't know if there's a whole lot I could say. I mean, we had a couple of turnovers, a few too many turnovers, but as far as looks we were getting, there's nothing I could do other than try and feed them full of confidence because it felt like we were getting a lot of paint touches, a lot of looks around the rim. You know, we got a couple steals, fast breaks. We didn't make the layups. You know, we got a couple of really good shooters, wide open looks from 3. We don't knock them down. And probably the biggest part of the message at halftime was, you know, we got to stop feeling sorry for ourselves. It's not going to get any easier sitting here feeling sorry.
Sure.
We got our heads down, and then it just kind of felt like it kind of snowballed from there. One person got their head down, somebody else followed suit, and you know, the second half I think we came out as a different team.
Yeah, and you look at, Union especially coming out with some emotion, especially in that first quarter. And, that's something you were competing against almost six people on the floor, I think, in that first quarter, it seemed like.
Yeah. They have a lot to play for, no doubt. And it's been a tough week for them, I know, and can't even imagine what their week's been like. I know it's a lot of probably survival mode right now and trying to deal with everything they're going through. So, a ton of credit to their girls for coming out and competing tonight and making it tough on us for 2 quarters.
Well, let's look at your lineup here as you go through. And, Peyton Bowes got a ton of shots off, ended up with 12 points. But, yeah, you were talked about. You were getting looks. They were pulling the trigger. It was sometimes hard to get through that hoop, but really a team effort when you look across that roster where people contributed and where things needed to be offensively. And there's some new faces out there too that kind of. I don't want to look ahead to 24-25 just yet, but it's got to be in the back of your mind a little bit, going, okay, we've got some things happening for the next few years here.
Yeah, absolutely. Adriana, ton of credit to her tonight. She didn't feel her best, but she was outstanding defensively against Sorensen. Sorensen is a really good player that once she gets to the volleyball line, she's in range, and you've got to have a hand on her face or you're going to pay for it. And Adriana just made everything really, really tough on her. She got on the floor, got deflections. Emma Bowes did a nice job on her on stretches. But, yeah, a couple of new faces. A new face that we saw in the second half was Emma Zabel. She stepped in and did a really nice job for us in the second half. I thought she gave us a little bit different look. And she's one that, had you asked me early in the summer, kind of last spring, I would have thought, yeah, she's probably going to play some minutes for us. And then she just battled some injuries kind of the second half of summer, kind of the fall time, and coming into the season, she ended up having to sit out basically a month. So she's only been back for a couple of games, so it was kind of working her back into the JV lineup a little bit the first couple, and then it was, we were going to try and find some minutes for her tonight, and we found some for her tonight in the second half, and she did a really good job for her first few minutes of the varsity level.
It took her a minute to kind of get in there, but I said to Luke, I go, the longer she's in there, you could see how more comfortable she was in there. Granted, you had some freshman mistakes as far as maybe some turnovers and things like that, but wow, as she's going to develop through your program, there's her and a number of them are going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, and our JV was no slouch tonight either. JV did an outstanding job. That freshman class, and we forget sometimes we're playing a few sophomores in there. Mm-hmm. We only got one senior with Adriana, so a lot of familiar faces. When you say looking ahead to next year, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces coming back, and that freshman group, that even some that aren't getting minutes right now, they are very competitive. They have goals of wanting to be out there too, and that's what makes us really good. I think that's what's going to make us really good by the end of the season. We're not where we want to be yet, but as some kids get a few more minutes and there starts to be a little more competition in practice and everything like that, I think everybody's going to continue to push each other, and we're only going to get better as the year goes on.
Well, and I feel like I talk about this too much, and maybe we've talked about it, but, you're looking back, the year you went to state 2020, you were struggling to get some JV time just because you didn't have the numbers, and now look at it with the numbers you have varsity and JV-wise. I guess just reflect on that over the last few years of how that's developed, and you look at where you're at with your roster and the depth and maybe where things are coming, and maybe even where they're coming up from the younger grades now. I guess talk through that.
Yeah, like you said, year one, I think we only played a couple of JV games of 2
or even quarters.
Yeah, we only played like 2 quarters was all we played, and we only did that a few times because it seemed like somebody was hurt or somebody was sick, and we only had 12 girls total, and probably playing 8 on varsity, in the rotation that year. So numbers have only really gone up since then, and the depth of the talent that we have right now is just outstanding. It's one thing to have. We have 17 girls out. It's one thing to have 17 to 20 girls out. It's another thing to have, 17 competitive girls.
Sure.
There's 15 of those girls that probably think, coming into this season, I think that maybe there's a chance for me to play a few varsity minutes, not regular rotation, but here and there. And I couldn't have a lot of argument with them. We're just that deep. I know I had a conversation with one of our JV players and told her, just last week that, I know this doesn't make you feel any better right now, but had you been on the team last year or the year before,
yeah,
you'd probably be playing minutes for us right now. But we're just so deep and competitive that it's hard to find minutes for everybody. We can't. I say we can't, but it's our choice. We're not going to play 12 girls. It's hard to stay in the flow of the game and things like that, in my opinion. Even though we might have 10 or 11 or 12 that won't hurt us out there to play 2 or 3 minute stretches. So we're really fortunate.
Yeah, you went 10 deep tonight, at least on the ones I wrote down. And I think you held off probably a little bit since some of those other girls had a ton of JV time.
Yep, absolutely.
Earlier on. But, hats off to the program, and it's going to be fun to keep watching. But let's fast forward tomorrow. You got South Hardin coming into the gym, and you got a game on Thursday. But we're not going to get to that just yet. Talk about South Hardin, what you anticipate for that, and not much time to prepare for them.
Yeah, not much time, no time to prepare for, and coming off a game Friday night, getting ready for tonight, not much time. But, yeah, they're going to come in. They got a couple girls who can shoot a little bit if you let them get some open looks, and they got some physical girls inside with some size. So, no slouch coming in here. They played, Grundy Center close, and Grundy Center is, they've beat some of the same teams we have by similar margins. So we got to be ready to go tomorrow, and then, like you said, we'll move into West Delaware on Thursday, and them being part of the WAMAC. The WAMAC is no joke, and they're finding a way to compete with everybody on the WAMAC. So we'll have our hands full there too.
Girls win tonight 57-20, and the boys are at halftime right now 20. They're down 34-23. Jordan, thanks for stopping up tonight. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Thank you.
That's head coach of the girls team, Jordan Conrad. We'll step away here, return in about a minute on the Jayhawks Sports Network. Back on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology as I catch my breath for just not even a hot second. 7:47 to go as we are in the second half, and Jesup coming out of the gate trying to see how they can tighten this margin, Luke, as again they're down 34-23. Union's been playing some pretty consistent basketball.
Yeah, they really have. They've been finding ways to get open shots, and when they do like that, in this case, they didn't knock it down, but they certainly were in the first half. And they also capitalized off some errant passes by the Jayhawks. So hopefully the Jayhawks can clean that up, as we do see, I believe that was Logan Rozier commit the foul. That was not Logan, that was Caden Sorensen commits the foul. So Jesup will set things up again. Wow.
More, Nick Moore down below as he had it and has to dish it off. Union will take it. And really a good presence that you can tell Union, they know where one another is, where they need to be on offense. And Jesup again playing catch-up. Under 7 minutes to play, third quarter. Turn around that paint to Mullen. Mason Mullen will get that to drop in for his third.
Yeah, and Union not significantly bigger than the Jayhawks. They do have, they've got Rozier underneath who's 6'4", But they're getting a lot of their scoring out of some other guys. Sorensen and Kate, of course, their leading scorer, then Mullen, their second leading scorer. So, and neither of those guys are taller than our guys. So it's a pretty even match here from a physical standpoint. But Union just doing a better job of getting open shots and then making them.
Yep, finding the right shots, making them go through. 7 points now for Cameron Mullen. And now Jack coming baseline, sees a double team, back out to Vogel. A little push up, off the front of the rim, no good. Cale Shizzle, very aggressive on defense. Shizzle leads the team in assists, and he's got almost 4 rebounds per game. Jack Miller with the ball, 24 points on average this year, 26 from behind the arch, 48 from the field, and Treptow stepping in tonight as he's been averaging 14 a game.
Nice kick back by Shizzle to Treptow, open 3.
And Shizzle at a quiet 10 points already.
Shizzle's done a nice job of distributing the ball here tonight. He's taken a shot when they're open, but he hasn't forced anything.
And challenged in. Anderson makes that one fall. Take him to double numbers. The second player to do for Union. And Jesup only scored 6 points so far this half. Actually, both teams 6 points.
Late whistle, but they do get it called. That foul goes against Mullen. That's his second team foul of the quarter for the Knights.
Tyler Nolan coming in place of Moore. Miller. Finds Treptow. Miller up and under. Gets that left side.
Nice scoop by Miller, excuse me.
13 points for him.
Jesup needs to get a couple stops here. They're just they're getting faked out of their drawers each time down the court.
Maddox to Winter with his 7th point. Treptow, little jumper. I wouldn't say we're quite putting up desperation shots, but not quite calculated.
Well, we're just not getting stops. We're letting them nearly score at will here. They give us one ball or head fake, and they go the opposite way, and we have no help sliding over. And finally, a shot by Treptow. Coach Smines wants a timeout.
Treptow now with 12 points as they will come to the bench and have a 30-second timeout. Jesup boys have South Hardin tomorrow night, and South Hardin, that's always that's a battle. You know, that's always been an aggressive team. This time coming to our place, I feel like we've been over to Eldora twice in a row or more than they've been here in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and I don't even know what sort of record South Hardin has this year. I'm sure you got that on your internet machine there.
My computation device as we pull it up. South Hardin coming in. Looking at 2-2 as of tonight.
They got a win over Gladbrook, Rhinebeck, win over Oline, but they've dropped one to Grenny Center and West Marshall. So I don't know, all fairly close games. Not really anything I can glean from that, but this Jayhawk team, they're a team that can win some games, but they need to come to play. It doesn't matter who we're playing, we need to be ready. 12
points now for Anderson as Jesup goes down and comes back without some points, and a whistle at the south end of the floor.
Vogel with the foul there. Got up in the air, unfortunately came down on top of Logan Rozier.
The Jesup's first team foul. Cameron Mullen in traffic. There to Sorensen. It gets loose and Shizzle has it. Stop and go to Treptow. Bus in, 7 foot out, no good.
Man, Treptow,
hard to get a rebound.
If he could get that shot to drop, the dude is just, he gets open in that lane every time. It's kind of like the girls in that first game. You know, they were getting plenty of open looks. They just couldn't get to go down.
11 points for DeWinter. He's come off the bench and trying for the and one. I want to go through.
Personally, I'm more of a fan of DeSummer, but
not DeWinter. DeFall can be nice.
That was so dumb.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry, folks.
It was off. We're just looking for something here.
Oh, boy.
Miller gets that one knocked away.
It's going to stay with the Jayhawks, see if we can get something underneath. Quick basket. You know, if we could string together a number of stops and then follow it up with scores, we'd be back in this ball game, but everything is going towards the Union Knights right now.
I'm sure the 166 people watching online appreciated that commentary, Lou.
There you go, Jack. Let's get a stop now.
Miller up to 15 now. 49-35. And you look at this roster. Sophomore, senior. That's your starting lineup for Union. DeWinter in as he's a sophomore as well. Pull up for Miller. Had his sight on it. Third quarter winding down.
Couple of guys for the Knights. Mullen, Niepert sitting down in front of the scorer's table to waiting to check in at the next dead ball.
And Union really just kind of taking some time right now. Last minute, third quarter. Push in from DeWinter and a whistle blown.
Call that on the ground.
And that'll go against Nick Moore. As Moore, that'll be his third personal foul and the team's third foul. And boys have South Hardin tomorrow night and come back on Friday with a JV varsity contest against Don Bosco. That's always, that rivalry doesn't matter what it is.
No, that's like almost like a crosstown rivalry. We're not exactly crosstown, but
we'll get some kids from town that'll be on there, yeah.
Same families oftentimes.
Under 40. Vogel takes a hand at that, pushes that away. Union playing very conservative. Sorensen takes a shot up that clock. 10 seconds left. Little put in. Sorensen will call it in and bring it in. He's got 13.
He's shifty, man. He's a fun player to watch.
He's a 50% shooter from the field. And no shot as we will end the third quarter. Union up 51-35. So in that stanza, 17-12 is your margin for Union on the advantage of Jesup.
The old Jayhawks, they got to find a way to get some stops. I know I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, and easy for me to say 2 stories up in the gym here. but the reality is Union's just getting to the basket way too easy. Like I said previously, they throw one head fake, one ball fake, and we're just kind of stuck in concrete, and they're off to the races. So got to figure out how to stick with our guys, get a couple stops, convert on the other end, and get back in this.
Been a bit of a depleted lineup tonight, at least as far as how reserves go. Or available players for Joe Smines, it looks like. A couple seniors home watching this potentially, assuming they're under the weather.
Been impressed with Caden Sorensen, the sophomore point guard for Union. As we said previously, leading scorer, but I see why tonight. He's got some nice handles, real quick step. Does a nice job of both distributing the basketball, but also creating space for himself and getting to the rim.
One team foul up on that board right now. Jack Miller earns his second of the game. And a wide open shot goes over.
Beautiful pass by Sorensen. Sprints the court, dumps it down to, I believe that was that Rosier?
Rosauer?
Yep. I knew I was not saying that right.
Rosauer, yeah. .7:16 to play, no look down low. Now Anderson. We're going to see a little Hoosiers ball here. Pass it back and forth, and an extra step. Going to bring it back towards Jesup's possession.
Well defended by Jack Miller.
Treptow finds Miller. Peering in. Looking for an opportunity. He's got to lean in a little bit, banks it off. He's going to go to 17.
Nice touch.
And he's been averaging 24 points this season. Jesup averaging 62 points total. Union averaging a little over 73 throughout their games.
Shizzle, nice job finding the open man and landing Vogel. Couldn't make that three, and here we are, Union back quickly the other way.
And the winner at 14.
They're just they're killing us with their fast break.
Straight on, Vogel. Just can't get those boards. You got some size inside there with Logan Rosauer at 6'4". Advantage for them.
Mason Mullen.
That basket, and a timeout is wanted.
Mason Mullen checking into the game for the Knights. I believe he's going to replace Maddox DeWinter.
.30-second timeout, and just kind of watching the huddle down here below to kind of get a sense of a feeling or direction or whatever. And Coach Smines kind of going to his notes to see what he can pull out that can maybe make some things happen for him. But you're right, it's that fast break, that pressure has really drilled down Jesup, and you've got 2 more games the rest of the week.
Yeah, and Jesup's not making the shots on their end, and more often than not, Union gets that rebound. As soon as they bring that down, they're off to the races.
We'll stop and pull up, drop it in. Mason Mullen. He's got 5. 57-37. Shizzle brought it up the floor. Miller. Triptoe, double teamed, triple teamed, but more up and under.
Nice dump down by Treptow.
5:24 to go.
Boy. Running out of things to say, Nate.
Yeah, that's That's unfortunately kind of where we're at right now. And Miller takes a big deep three. Tightens it up a little more. It'll take him to 20 points total, make it a 19-point margin. Again, Union's only loss was back in November to Independence, 60-57.
There you go. Now let's put this in the room.
Vogel.
Now get back. Another
Chisel
steal for
takes
the
it away
Jayhawks.
and try to bounce it off of Union, and almost some desperation play we're seeing come through. Some frustration is where that starts happening.
Full timeout by Coach Smines. 19-point difference. Union leading the Jayhawks.
JV boys lost by 3 points earlier tonight, or today actually. That game tipped off at 4 o'clock in this gym. Head coach Joe Smine, assisted by Steve Schmidt. Also down there, Rod Selesky, Nick Donnelly, Mike Johnson. One of the younger programs is Rock Sabres and Selesky. I think they're the leads on that.
And the boy, regardless of how this game ends up, the boys will get back to work tomorrow and practice. Well, not tomorrow. They got another game to play tomorrow.
They're going to shoot around and get right back to it right after school.
So, but at very least, hopefully they can learn a few things here tonight that Coach Smines and company can implement before tomorrow. Some adjustments and hopefully come out a little better prepared for the competition tomorrow.
Chisel off to Treptow, and there's Miller.
Nice pass.
The lean in from Vogel. That one's going to get knocked away by Rosau. Nice quick inside to Tripto on a turnaround, but can't make it fall. Under 4 minutes to play in the game. Zone pressure from Jesup. That one, 3 in for Sorensen. 16 for him.
Need a little more, Jack's got 20, great pass by Jack. But Jack's got 20, next man is Treptow with 12, and then it just falls off severely. We need more scoring from some other guys here.
In the paint, dish that back out, looking for another 3 back-to-back, no good for Sorensen. Ball's out of bounds off of Moore. 3 minutes to play. Jayhawks down 22 points. And Miller tried to look at pulling that up, and he was going to maybe bring it down.
Yeah, I don't know what he was going to do there, but that was a nice steal regardless. Get another chance to get it in the basket here.
There's Shizzle. He lied to 3. He's going to come in the paint. Looking to maybe draw one. There's Treptow. Rim no good. Rebound in Sorensen's hands.
I know Treptow can make that shot because I've seen him make it plenty of times. But it is just not working for him here tonight.
Mullen. He's going to get fouled.
Vogel wrapped up with Mullen. It's going to be Vogel's second. Thought he had more than that, but second team foul for the Jayhawks.
And realistically, we've seen a lot of the same guys, right, for Union, and they've not slipped up much. They're keeping the same energy level.
And now they're working the clock.
Some really smart play offensively. Ball gets loose, and now Miller is going to try and take it on his own, and that one will.
Yeah, you got to give him that.
Basket.
I'm giving him that.
Oh, he did not give him that.
No, it was probably.
He was flying through the air when he got. They are going to give it to him.
Yeah, they should. That was a tough layup.
22 points. Try and make that 3 total on that free throw, and he does so.
There's not a lot of kids that are making that layup. That was a tough play for Jack Miller. One
off his game average, and Mason Mullen by himself takes it in. He's got 9. Under 2 minutes to play. Shizzle deep 3.
Got it.
He scored early on with a 3, and back in the book. And a timeout is wanted, a 30-second timeout by head coach Joe Smines.
Coach.
And we will bring the substitutions on the floor as Paxton McCone, Tyler Nolan, Brennan Oshner, Peyton Cameron, Nick Moore all in. There's your JV lineup right there, with the exception of Nolan and Moore.
And a full boat of new players for the Union Knights. We got Sawyer Spence, Owen Hennings, Andrew Sadler, Eric Niepert, and we've got one more out there. If you give me just a second, looks like Gavin Rohrbach.
Peyton Cameron had a big 3 last time down for Jesup, and there's Paxton McCone. He can't get that one in there. He had some contests, but he's got some confidence going to that hoop. Under a minute to play. Really have liked the improvement that I've seen with Paxton McCone from last year to last year. He's worked hard in the summertime.
Yeah, he's another kid that's playing the AAU circuit. I haven't seen any of those kids play. I haven't seen JV at all this year, so. In fact, I admittedly don't even know all these kids, so I'm glad you were able to roll them off so quickly.
Paxton McCone going to slow things down, 22 seconds to go. Peyton Cameron to put some work in the offseason as well as a sophomore, as a JV starter. Brennan Oshner, 10-footer, doesn't go. And that'll be it. 66-49. Jesup will go to a record now of 3-3 overall, 2-1 in conference play. Union 6-1 overall, 4-0 in conference play, and I would assume they will take the lead in the NICL East standings. Looking at scoring-wise, leading scorer for Union, 16 points, was Sorensen. DeWinter had 14 off the bench. Jack Miller, he closes out the night with 23 total, 12 for Ryan Treptow, 3 for Nick Moore. Vogel had 3. Peyton Cameron had 3. Kill Shizzle, he had 6, if I neglected to say that. But Jesup, quick turnaround as we talked about, back in action tomorrow night. They'll host South Hardin, then back on Friday as they will bring Don Bosco to town to play them. Luke, any final words?
Tough night for the Jayhawk men. They got to figure out before tomorrow night how to get some stops and then how to get that ball through the hoop. You know, Jack Miller did Jack Miller things. Treptow, he had a good night, but he missed a ton of shots in the paint. And then they've got to figure out a way to get some of those other guys on the board as well, and they'll be all right.
Our next broadcast, like I said, tomorrow night here on the Jayhawks Sports Network, boy-girl doubleheader with South Hardin. For Luke Baldwin, our on-site producer, Anthony Baugh. Oh, he's back. Good. I worried about that a little bit. Eric Clark was on camera tonight. Final score for the boys, 66-49 is the final. If you choose to watch this game again on replay, that's on you. I'm Nate Clayberg up in the South Patio here in the South Gym in Jesup. This is the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology with music courtesy of bensound.com. Go Jayhawks and good night.